So apparently, Savannah Pancake, Savannah, I think her name Dexter or something like that. Rather watch Dexter's Laboratory. Anyway, I digress. Has a podcast, and she had Bravo Lizard on there. Ain't never been a gator. Gator ain't never been about that in any way, shape, or form. She had him on the podcast, and they started to talk crap about Ryan Upchurch. Let's take a look at this foolishness. Don't forget to hit the like button, share the video as well, drop some comments. Also, sign up for channel memberships if you're able to. Helps out the channel a lot, and it gives you access to bonus and early content. Let's get into it. This is nasty work already.
The first time I heard of Church and Johnny Cashville Rehaz, what we call him, whatever, he'll hopefully he remembers this, but he was telling me about, because Tubbs, one of our mutual friends with Church, was managing Church at the time, right? So when Rehab told me about Church, seeing what he was doing was like triggering. Like, it's the same Colt 4 shit. That shit's corny. Me and Church got on the phone with each other back then. This is like 10, 12, whatever long ago, when he was first coming up. I remember looking at it and going, this guy's got 20,000 followers, whatever the fuck it was at that time, right? He was up and coming. He was doing good. But I remember getting him on the phone going, you're fucking gay. Looking back at it, I shouldn't have been that way towards an up and coming artist,
Sure.
right? But knowing who he is, fuck him.
Yeah.
But country rap, explain this shit, bro. We weren't doing country rap. We were doing rap music that came out of Nashville. Record, I think the whole genre aspect of it's fucking corny.
Yeah.
You know, I think labeling stuff, I think it's Southern flair to music.
Mm-hmm.
A good song is a good song no matter what genre it falls in.
Yeah.
But they've made it fucking corny.
So when I met you, you had just come off of taking a break from music. So how did you, like, was that just your only conversation with Ryan and then it was done? How did you meet?
Yeah, that was
where
probably 2014, I'm guessing.
And then that was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
I left music for a couple reasons. One, I wasn't disciplined enough and patient enough at that time to ever be able to make this into a business. So I went and got a job, right? I was working for a roofing company and I just kind of gave up on music. I mean, you still write and stuff, you know, you still have songs that I still put out, but I stopped doing it. You know, there's just songs that are sitting in the bank. But I needed to learn discipline. I needed to learn structure, a lot of things that I was sporadic with, you know. If I had 10 grand that came in, and you bet your ass 9,800 of it's gone by tomorrow, we're going to figure out something to shake something loose, right? Even the church aspect of it, I didn't really, like, I'd heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, that's dope, because Tubbs, we were close.
Yeah.
Like, you tell me about it, but I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, there's nobody can say, oh, you were trying to get a song with Church pre-Savannah. Or you were trying to get a song with Adam pre-Savannah. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, somebody was cool, they're cool.
Yeah.
When you came on the scene, like the Katie shit, right? As a on the music executive side, right? The thing that separates people that are successful and the people that aren't is you're willing to take a risk. You know what moves to make. We knew you could sing, knowing you could rap, because you could stay on rhythms on different songs. I'm like, if something's there. It was putting the pieces together, right? At the same time, the Katie shit with Church was happening. This is the first I'm starting to realize what's going on. So I'm like, oh, okay. So being loyal to Nashville, right? Being loyal to Nashville, I'm like, Katie, bitch is lying.
Yeah.
She's lying.
Well, and I
Fuck
thought
that.
the same thing.
Yeah, it was like everybody thought
the
that.
more we started talking about it, I was like, and the thing here is, like, within what, 4 days, 5 days of being at your house, we're sitting in the studio every single day. I'm telling you my entire life story. This is when Cinderella was wrote. This is when Remember Everything was wrote. This is when I'm literally...
Another Story was wrote.
Yeah, Another Story was wrote. Half of my first album was practically wrote and partially recorded while Raise Hell was in the process of becoming a thing.
Right.
And I say that to let viewers know Gator knew my past at this point as much as I could, you know, put into words.
You had told me your stuff about, like, the essay stuff and other stuff, but I knew that stuff genuinely bothered you, right? And then this is like the first time in my life, honestly, right, that I'm hearing somebody that's, you know, I might have heard it a few times before, but I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. Like, some people have been through this stuff, not just on TV and stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's weird that people would do that anyway. Um, and then you got this fucking girl over here, and I feel like she's lying over somebody from our town. You know, because the Nashville's gonna stick together at the end of the day. That's how it was.
Yeah.
Ain't like that now. But back then, you know, we all fought for each other because we had, you know, it was whatever. But I'm like, this is a situation. I wish somebody would shut this bitch the fuck up. I wish somebody would shut her up. You have a voice of somebody that's actually been through it versus what we thought at the time. This person's faking going through it.
Yeah.
That's how Raise Hell happened. But before that, our angle wasn't that people think, oh, that's just, it was just find a girl that can rap to diss her. No. We had half of an album done before that shit even fucking jumped off.
Yeah.
You know? And then you diss Katie, right? And I know we shot the video. The song was recorded. And it was still some hesitancy on both sides. Like, do we do this? Do we not? You know, whatever. Until she fired off her diss.
Correct.
And it was, okay, now it's all, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, we'll fire off. Whatever. The song came out, but everything changed. I remember outside of Jelly, really, nobody was giving me any kind of flowers, any kind of help, any kind of fucking support,
Everybody was
any
calling.
kind of fucking nothing.
Everybody was calling.
No. Before you.
Oh, yeah.
Before you. It was, oh, that dude's back.
Nobody had talked to you.
Let's leave him alone. I mean, people would check in. Jelly was there.
Yeah.
People would check in, right? But nobody was, you know, whatever. It was like, it's saying, okay, I mean, you need a handout, or I mean, that whole vibe. I'm like, who do y'all think you're talking to? Because I had whatever. I did a lot for that music scene over there, you know? When you came out, they're like, oh, first it was like, who is this girl? Who is this? Oh, they're tied into this. Oh, and then the phone starts fucking ringing.
Yeah.
I'm like, which we knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
We knew, I'm like, this is what's going to happen. This is how Nashville moves. Nashville's also fuck shit sometimes, you know? This is how Nashville moves. I'm talking about like the genre, not the genre, but like the music industry. And everybody started calling, trying to figure out what was what. And you were the pretty girl that was new. So there was dudes calling like, is she single? Is she, oh, can we get on her second? Fuck you.
Well, that's not what it was then. Now you can say that because we're married, but
sure, but
this
is real. The thirst trap was real.
Yeah.
You know?
It was.
And then you start dissing, and everybody's got a motherfucking opinion. And what people didn't realize, I didn't need nobody's fucking opinions.
Yeah. There was one, okay, so everybody was calling. Everybody was calling, but everybody was hesitant outside of Tubbs. I still have that phone call. I was recording, not in a weird way. He wasn't saying anything bad, but just out of like excitement and like, oh, he's so excited or whatever. Mind you, Tubbs was still linked in to Ryan at this time.
Ryan knew.
Hence how we got, because I do want to backpedal a little bit. I don't just want to skip over the music video, because whenever we get into your diss and all that stuff, you dropped a bar in there that is something else we've never spoke publicly about. Ryan tries to act like, or he stated later on in my career, he had no idea who I was, no idea what was going on, but yet I have his literal Can-Am in the Raise Hell music video. Tubbs was at the music video. Justin Time was at the music video. Like, there were so many people that were involved. He absolutely knew what was going on.
Music video for Raise Hell was the first time I saw Justin since I dissed him.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember that.
Being cool. But Church 110% knew about the fucking record.
For sure.
Right? Gave Tubbs the Can-Am.
He knew about the song.
Me and Alan, right? Church wanted to meet up from what Tubbs says, which either Tubbs is a liar or Church is, and Tubbs don't really lie. So take that how you want it,
well,
right?
You know, Church says everybody.
Me and Alan went to Panama City because Church was going on vacation, right? He's like, well, Church wants to meet you.
Yeah.
Church wants to meet you, all that stuff. All right, cool. Me and Alan, as you know, as country as we're not, we loaded up a fucking kayak, and we're like, if we're going to Panama City, we're going shark fishing, no matter what this shit is. That was our number one thing. We're riding an SLA with a canoe on top of it. We're shark
telling me this.
We get down there, and we go onto the beach. Tubbs is there. Church is in his hotel room, or whatever the fuck that was, and we're fishing. You know, kayaking the bait out 100 yards, 200 yards in the middle of the night, dropping it off. Like, we're fishing. I never saw Church on that trip. He never came out of his hotel room.
That
right?
doesn't surprise
There would be no reason for him not to come out, you know, but he just never came out. I'm like, that's some fuck shit, right? And as soon as we left, I remember somebody posted a story or church did where he was outside the room. I'm like, 5 minutes after we leave, that was just weird shit. So that started the like, okay, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Right? Like we drove up there to see you, but still go fishing because it was, at that time the sharks come real close to whatever. People that know fishing,
Yeah.
And he didn't come out of the room. That was weird. That's after Raise Hill or right before, one or the other. He for sure knew about Raise Hill.
Yeah.
For sure. What I wish would happen in this whole situations is that the artists are scared to be in the room with the other artists. That's the problem. But he could sit right here. I could sit right here. You can hook up a fucking lie detector machine and we'll go. Let's talk. I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie. That was awkward, but you knew about the song when it came out. Finally, somebody supporting. Without that song, do I think that people would have still believed his story? Yes. I think they would have.
No, excuse me. I thought you were going to say something else. Not believed. Hounded on it. I don't think people would have consistently brought it up as long as they had or continue to do so after I stepped on the stage. Raise Hell rebirthed it. It made it a bigger situation than it was.
Correct.
And it, not completely annihilated Katie, but it really hurt her.
For sure.
And yeah, it's not that they wouldn't have believed him. I just think it would have died off because he moves on to
the next victim.
The next.
Gator, more so known as Jelly Roll's goon. All the connections is making a lot of sense now. It's crazy. Jelly Roll's goon, he's sitting there with pancakes, reminiscing about the days before he was super trash. And how, oh no, it was already a plan to have your career as a singer. We just capitalized off of Katie Noel and tried to, push your name in there just because we wasn't trying to get near Upchurch. That's exactly what you were doing. Now you're playing stupid. Or are you playing? I don't know. Can't call it. Try not to judge people like that. Try not to judge people. But in my personal opinion, I think that these clowns definitely were trying to use Upchurch now than after Upchurch. Just the way that they talk about him is just like such envy. It went deeper into some other topics too. We're going to speak on that, but I wanted to just speak on this one topic specifically during this portion. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Hit the like button. Share the video as well. Also, check out memberships if you're able to. Also, check your subscriptions. Make sure you're still notified when everything's released.